big clunk as it closes the door. Keys are not required. There isn't a key holder, and you just put them, throw them wherever you like. It doesn't matter. Start button. Steering wheel moves into my position. Seat moves to my position. If I upset the seat in any way, if I mess with the seat, I can press my memory seats and push it back the way it was. Now, this is powered by a 3 litre, 250 brake horsepower diesel engine. Shut up. How dare you? 250 brake horsepower engine. And of course the gear shift is slightly different in that you just press the button and pull it back towards you and it's into D. And from there on out, the world starts to move backwards pretty quick because it's got a horrendous amount of power. And it's put through! Bloody hell! It's put through a quattro system on the gearbox. And it's an 8-speed gearbox, so you have no problem with gears. None whatsoever. Don't worry about it. And I'm in auto mode at the moment because I can just put my foot down and it will switch to dynamic and my face gets peeled off, and then you press the brakes and everything stops real quick. It's designed for comfort, but it can do the business. I can tell you that. Now there is also a 4.2 litre diesel you can have in this if you want. And there's an S8 coming as well, by the way. But the idea is that you are in comfort at all times. Drivers, passengers, everybody in the car. That's the plan. It's not just about being a limousine. It's not just about being in the back of a car and enjoying it from back there. It's also about enjoying it from up front. And that's kind of the purpose of this car, is that it can be anything. It can be a family vehicle if you want it to be, as long as you have no more than 2 kids, because there's only 2 seats in the back, obviously. You can also have it as a luxurious touring bus. You can have it as whatever you want it to be. Now this also has twin sunroofs, so you can open both of them, and you can have that one in the front there as a solar sunroof as well. And a solar sunroof actually catches sunlight and converts it into electricity to charge the battery. So there's a lot of technology involved in the car. It can do pretty much anything you want to do from up here. So from the driver's seat, I can control the rear sun blinds. Now you might think that a car like this comes with a hideous price tag. So much car comes for a lot of money. But guess what? It's not really that much. This long wheelbase version is about €130,000 with everything you've seen. I'm not talking about 130 plus a pile of options. That's with all the stuff that you've seen that I was showing you, the twin DVD players in the back. And it's not just twin DVD players. You can play individual DVDs on each one, so you can play a different movie depending on what you want to watch. And if you put in SD cards, well, your space is kind of unlimited then. You know, if you copy your DVDs and your music and everything else to an SD card, which is quite easy to do using a computer, you can load up back there on tons of movies to watch and anything else you want to watch as well. But this primary purpose of this is a business vehicle. It's to be able to do business on the road. Now, do business in 2 different ways, of course. You have driver as a businessman, driving around the place and getting to his next destination whenever he wants to. But then you also have a rear passenger, because someone who buys a long wheelbase version of this is generally someone who does a lot of business on the road a lot of the time, and wants something they can be a bit comfortable in, even wants something they can have a snooze in on the way to their next meeting or the next destination. Because remember, Ireland is a small country, and in actual fact it would take me no more than maybe 2 days to circumnavigate the whole country right around the edge of it. But Europe, and that's a whole different ball game. Could take you a day just to get across Germany. Now, as you notice from the mic, there's very little road noise. There's very little noise at all. And when you don't poke that engine too much, you get very little rumble out of it. It's a V6, so it does make a really good noise when you put your foot down at any time. Now, this car is no slouch when it comes to performance. Don't think it is for a second. This still has over 500 Newton meters of torque when you put your foot down. An 8-speed box means it's fairly relentless when you want to go fast. You can basically go whatever that clock says. It says 300 kilometers an hour. I'd imagine it would get pretty close to that. There isn't really anywhere in Ireland to test that kind of speed. Now I also have, of course, the distance control system in this, which allows me to be able to set the cruise control to drive at a speed. And that means I can take my feet off everything and let the car just cruise along behind anything. Now it's not just normal cruise control, of course. It is cruise control that watches the car in front and latches onto that car. So if he slows down, I'll slow down. If he stops or brakes hard, I'll brake hard. There's no need to interfere at all. And after a while, I've had that system before on a couple of cars from Audi, and after a while you learn to trust it, you learn to love it, you learn to make it just part of your driving experience. It also stops you from speeding. So all you got to do is just turn it on, follow the car in front of you, you'll never speed, as long as he doesn't speed, because you set the maximum speed on the cruise control to go at, and that's the important part. You're in control of the maximum speed the car will drive at. Now cars like this, you might believe, are beyond your reach. I promise you, if you think that this is nothing more than a luxo-barge, you're in for a bit of a shock when you get into the seat of it. Because this car is, well, it's a lot more than just a car. This car has a personality. It is where other people serve up a gravy, this serves up a jus. Everything is just so. Everything is just where it should be, where it needs to be, where you want it to be on your daily commute. And if you're a businessman, well, you're not going to find too many places that you can do business so easily. I mean, they even give you a tray in the back so you can put your laptop on it, or your iPad, whatever you want to put on it. Right, let's go into our system here. Go into car, and we're going to go to dynamic mode because we want to, we want the best shot at this. Right, let's get to this point here now. We have a nice straight there. Alright, down to 0. We come to a complete stop. Are we ready? Oh, it's actually going to start. I can turn that off though. I don't worry about it, I can start anyway. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go! Oh, God almighty, there is 100 done! This is an A8. This car probably weighs the thick end of about 2 ton, maybe a bit more. If you consider the amount of electronics that are actually involved in a car and the amount of things that are in the car, including an 8-speed gearbox and a quattro system and a 3-litre diesel engine up the front. If you include all those sort of things, there is a lot of kit in here. A lot of kit. Good thing is, getting out of junctions no hassle. Just put your foot down and away she goes! You're up to speed and you're already gone. And then they just set the cruise control and the car does the rest. It's all so easy, and that's the point of this car. It is so easy. And even at motorway speeds, you won't feel like you're moving fast at all. You feel like you're just moving at a normal speed. There is no effort to it. Turning into corners is all very gentle. It's dealt with by the car. Nice clock to keep an eye on in the front. I can put away the screen. I can close the rear sun blind if I want to close the sun blind back there. And just cruise, man. And if I want, I actually have a sunroof that I can open here as well. Yeah, it's going to get noisy now. How about that? Sunroof with an A8. It's a bit noisy though. I mean, for filming, not for driving along. And I have a sun blind for that one as well, so I can close the sun blind. Don't want to get the sun off me. Now in here also I have heated seats. I have aerated seats too, so it actually draws away the warm air from the seat inside. You can imagine the weight of that seat. I have a touchscreen here as well for entering whatever I want to enter. I have full control over my telephone from that screen. I also have voice control. Radio, DVD player. Only when parked does the DVD player work in the front. But you know what? Why would you get out? I mean, if you owned a car like this, why would you get out of it? Just stay in it. Now I'm currently cruising along the road here at just under, I'm following another car, but just under 100 kilometers an hour. and I'm using 6.3 litres per 100 kilometres, and it's gone down now to 4.1, 4 litres, 3.9 at 100 kilometres an hour in a car this size and this comfortable. There's a lot to be said for what Audi have achieved in a car like this. Really, really, truly, honestly, I'm not messing with you. I'm not just overawed by the amount of kit or equipment or the luxury that's involved in this car. The comfort, and normally German cars are quite hard under your seat, but this one has massage. I'm going to go for a little bit of stretch now, because the stretch is quite nice. What it does is it's like a little person with their elbows in your seat, and it just pushes along up your spine very, very slowly.